Good morning, children. Children, I welcome you all to today's session of physics, and we are on to chapter 5 light. Now, children, you all know that light is a form of energy, right? And this is very, very important for you to remember that it's a type of energy which enables us to see things, right? Without light, we won't be able to see anything, right? And the world will be a very dark place for us to live, right? Now, if we need to see something, there needs to be a source of light to make the object visible. So, children, please underline this, that we need a source of light to make things visible, right? And that is utmost important, right? If there is no source of light, then nothing will be visible. And see, during the day, the sun allows us to see objects. At the night, light of a torch and anything other than which emit light enable us to see. Now, children, we should go to sources of light, right? Now, an object which gives out the light is called source of light, right? Any object which emits light, like see, sun emits light, so it's a source of light. A torch, right? It's also a source of light, right? You can see from this list also, and there are some animals also. See, children, this is very important for you to know that there are some animals also, like uh, firefly and starfish can produce their own light, and this is called bioluminescence, right? What it is called, children? It is called bioluminescence, right? Okay. And the most important source of light for us is the sun, right? Please underline this. It is the sun is the most important source of light. Okay. Next we come to luminous and non-luminous objects. An object which gives out its own light is called luminous object, and that which does not give its own light is called non-luminous object, right? And it glows from the light of a luminous object by reflection or any other mechanism, right? Now let us see the examples of luminous objects, right? And they are the sun, right? Please remember, any object which gives out its own light is called luminous object. For example, the sun, right? Okay, so since luminous objects, they give their own light, they can be seen even in the dark, right? And now let us come to the non-luminous part. A non-luminous object, an object which does not gives out its own light, is called a non-luminous object, right? For example, a table, a chair, a mirror, camera, right? The moon. See, the most important example for you all is the moon. See, because the moon is visible via the mechanism of reflection, right? From the light of the sun, right? The light of the sun, right? And see, the most important thing is given here. The non-luminous objects can only be seen when light coming from a luminous object falls on them, right? So now this light reflected by non-luminous object in all direction, when the reflected light enters into our eyes, then only we are able to see it. And therefore moon is a non-luminous object, right? We can see the moon because it reflects the sunlight into our eyes. See, this is a very important thing about the moon. The moon is a non-luminous object which does not have its own light, and it what it does it reflects the light of the sun into our eyes, right? This is what you need to remember. Okay, actually when the sunlight falls on the surface of the moon, then some of the sunlight is reflected by the moon towards the earth, and to us it appears as if sunlight is being given out. Okay, now see types of object: luminous objects and non-luminous objects. Children, You just need to learn this much in this with example. This is super important. See, luminous objects which give out their own light, for example the sun, the burning can. Non-luminous object which do not give out their own light, for example book and pencil. Now we come to another very important thing: transparent, translucent and opaque materials. When light falls on a material, then two things can happen: all the light can pass through the material, or only some of the light can pass through it. So when all of the light through a material, it is called transparent one, right? When some light falls, see, here the definition is: those materials which allow the light to pass through them are called as the transparent material. For example, polythene, air, water. See, it's all given here, right, with the example. Then translucent material which allow, you can see in many windows, right, you can see outside, but outside people cannot see you. So the quality of the glass is translucent there, right, which allow only some light to pass through them, right, they allow only some light to pass through them. They are called translucent object, right? For example, here see there are some examples also there. Example is of ground glass. See, this is the example, ground glass. And then we have the opaque materials. Those material which do not allow any light to pass through them are called opaque material, like wood or cardboard, right? Okay, now see, through this chart, this is shown: transparent, translucent and opaque material. Transparent, which allows the light to pass through them; translucent, which allow only some light to pass through them; and opaque, do not allow any light to pass through them, right? Next we come to a very very important thing, which is rectilinear propagation of light, right? And this can very be understood that it simply says that light travels in a straight line. And see, this is the experiment here. See, three cardboards are there, right, um, of transparent, translucent or opaque, just to tell you all. Now if suppose in the center 2 there is no candle is there, and we put a hole then in the second one, and then we will be seeing the light in the third cardboard, right? See, rectilinear propagation of light means that light travels in a straight line. This is the meaning of rectilinear propagation of light. See, it's given here also. The property light travels in a straight line is called the rectilinear propagation of light, and the speed of light is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter per second, right? You need to remember this, children, by heart, because you will be using it more than off, right? So this is the speed of light. Okay, now see, here is an experiment which you can do. In this you need to put two candles, and in the front of one there is should be a rubber tube which is straight, so you will see the light from the other source. Now if we, what we do is, in the second one we just bent the rubber tube, and then we won't see anything on the other side, which shows that light travels in a straight line. Also see this experiment, this is what I was discussing with you all, that there is a candle and three cardboards are there with a hole in between, and even then you will see some light at the other end, showing that the light travels in a straight line. And this phenomenon was used in pinhole camera, which is the first camera to be used. It is made of, it works on the principle of light travels on a straight line. See here, this is a box containing a, this is a light proof box, means no light can emit out, and in this there is a small hole. On this there is a small hole, with inverted image is formed, right? Inverted image is formed inside, right? And you can see here, and this is due to the phenomenon of light traveling in a straight line. So I stop here. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did in making it, and until we meet again, it's a goodbye.